Atma, Namaste, and welcome. Today we continue with the sixth ray on our Achieve the Impossible series with Grandmaster Cho's book. Before we start, let's ask for a divine blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, we thank you for your great, great blessings. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui, Mahaguruji Mailing, and all the higher beings, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, protection. We thank you all for your great blessings. In full faith, so be it. Alright, so before we start, let's chant Om. You know the routine. Focus on your crown, your hands, and your feet. For the ones who are just joining us, we always do this when we start to just flush out any negative thoughts, negative emotions, any kind of stress, so that when we clear our energy field, it's easier to absorb information and spiritual energy. Alright, so raise your hands, focus on your crown, then your hands, then your feet. Okay, take a deep breath. Om. Om. Now be aware of your crown. Feel the divine energy cleansing your crown, your forehead, the area in between your eyebrows, the back of your head. These chakras are being cleansed. Feel the divine energy go down your throat. Your throat chakras are being cleansed. The divine energy is entering your front and back heart chakras. They're being cleansed. The divine energy is cleansing your front and back solar plexus chakras. The divine energy is cleansing your liver and spleen chakras. It's going down, cleansing your navel, your spine, your sex center, and the base of your spine. The divine energy is pouring down that liquid light, flushing out any negative thoughts, negative energies out of your hands and out of your feet. Take a deep breath. Om. 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 Now just be still. Feel it flush out any negative thoughts, negative energies completely out of your system, out of your aura and your chakras now. So it is. So it is. You're cleansed. Alright, how do you feel? Good? Some of you a little spacey. It's okay. Just shake a little bit, come back. And grab your book. So we're on page 78. Devotion. Sixth ray is devotion. Sixth ray management manifests as deep or emotional commitment. Alright, before we go further, let's just have a quick roundup. Right? So first ray, will and power. Focusing, moving forward, pushing forward. Number two, love and wisdom. You're very loving to all. Second ray. Third ray, active intelligence, higher mental thinking, seeing the big picture, and then seeing the big picture, acting upon it. Fourth ray, harmonizing this will, love, and intelligence to make it work as one, and whatever else that could be conflicting. So fourth ray is harmonizing conflicting factors. Fifth ray, lower mental. If third ray is active intelligence, seeing the big picture, right? Fifth ray is seeing the little details. So they're both thinking. One is seeing the big picture. One is thinking the little important parts that make up the whole. Sixth ray is now the ray of devotion. Okay? What is exactly is ray of devotion? You notice there's some people, they go to church every Sunday, or they go to the mosque, they go to a synagogue, they go to a temple. they're devoted, they're emotionally committed, even though they can't get out of bed, they don't feel good, or sometimes they feel like, oh, they had a difficult night the night before because of work, whatever. They're committed. The key word is committed to a certain idea, cause, or deity, or religion, or belief system. Now, if you try to put it together, it's something like this. When you love, secondary love, it's expansive. You love all. You love all the spiritual teachings. You love all the different religions. You love all the knowledge from wherever you can get it. Yeah, it's expansive. It's wide. It's like taking a big net. All right. Sixth ray is taking that love and focusing it like a laser beam on a particular subject, belief, teachings, religion, deity. So that's sixth ray. So this sixth ray is the ray of devotees. Like people are devotees of a particular guru, a particular saint, a religion, right? So that's sixth ray. Taking love that is wide, inclusive, and making it more focused on a smaller scale. Okay? Well, not a small scale, but smaller targeted idea, subject, teacher, religion, or concept. That's sixth ray. You see it? Second ray is what? All inclusive. Second ray, yeah, we include, but I want to focus on this. That's sixth ray. Sixth ray. All right. Now that you have a little background, let's talk about it. Emotional commitment manifests as deadlines, targets, and schedules. Plans without deadlines, target dates, or schedules show that the people are not emotionally committed to manifesting the plan. All right. So I think we talk about this in first ray, if I'm not mistaken, but either way, it's something like this. Do you notice that you meet people on the street you haven't seen for a long time? What do you say? Hey, how are you doing? Let's do lunch. They say, oh yeah, sure, let's do lunch. Then you walk away. Does it ever happen? No. You know why? No commitment. See, if they're really committed or you're committed, you say, oh, I don't have your number. Could you give me my number? Oh, next thing, not just a number, is when. They say, oh, my people will call your people. That never happens. You see, commitment is what makes the whole thing work. You can have the best idea. You can have lots of plans that are made, right? In other words, you have the big picture. You want to act on it, right? You have all the integral details. You have a business plan. You have all the tasks laid out. Guess what? Without commitment, nothing happens. Nothing. Literally nothing. All of us at some point say, hey, I want to go start learning a new language. I want to start going to the gym. I want to start, taking more time for myself to, to meditate. I want to learn how to, a new skill on how to weave, basket weaving underwater or whatever. Guess what? Without saying a when, a deadline, it never happens. Think about it. You have people that give you lots of ideas. Oh, let's do this, let's do this. Here's how you test them. That's great. Okay, let's do it. When's the first available date you have? They go, oh, let me look at my schedule. Okay, you go, okay, good, look at your schedule. Back to me by tomorrow at this time. Once you start pinning down a time, a deadline, a schedule, if they don't give you one, it never happens. Sixth ray quality means what? I have this great idea. I want to do this. I want to do that. Put my money where my mouth is. Detailed, but exact time and exact commitment. At this time, I'm going to do this. That's sixth ray. So when a person's very devoted to a saint, they don't feel like getting out of bed. Their body might be sick. But man, they show up at the meeting, they show up at the church service, temple, synagogue, mosque, whatever your religion is. If there is commitment, there could be a storm, there could be an earthquake, there could be problems in your life, you get there. That's sixth ray quality. So people who are very, very sixth ray, in their how they deal things, they're very loyal and they're very, very, committed. Can't find a better word for it. Okay, now let's continue. The sixth ray is the lower correspondence of the second ray. We talk about that, right? Second ray huge, sixth ray focused. Giving people good money is not enough. Giving them welfare, lots of benefits enough. The question is, how do you create commitment to work? How do you create loyalty? How do you create devotion within the company? Okay, basically what he's saying is something like this. If you have a company or you have an organization, if you keep handing out things for people, that might work. They say, oh, great, I'm so happy. Some people, they say, oh, I'm so grateful. I get a raise. I get this. I get that. I get a free movie every time I produce this much in my work. Some people would look at it like, oh, that's great. I like this company. Everything's free. I get this. I get that. But just that, there is no commitment. You know what I'm saying? But some people, oh, I love this company. Every time I do this, I get a reward of that. That makes me more really focused because it's a great company. I'm more devoted to my work because I know anytime I do something, they will reward me. I love this company. You see, two types of responses. So the key is what he's saying is, how do you take the people in your company, your organization, your spiritual group, how do you make them show up to your event, to your charitable event, to produce numbers if you're in a corporation? How do you do that? By giving something and waking up that devotion so they'll be committed to do the work. Just like some of you go, oh yeah, a bunch of us, we got together, we're going to starting a meditation night. Right? So people show up, but some are committed, some are not. So the question is, how do I make these people committed to come night after night, whatever your schedule is, so that they will benefit from what we're teaching them? Oh, what we can do is, every time they come in, we listen to what's going on in their life. And then we give them solution. Then we give them tasks to do and give us a report. So they're getting something at the same time. They feel like they want to give something. When the two come together, you have somebody who's committed. You see, the mistake a lot of people make, and some of you study psychology, is this. The mistake most people think is, oh, people are only connected to you if you give them something. In psychology, they say if you give people something that works, they might like you, they might not like you. But if you give them something, or they start doing something for you, they have a good sense of self-worth, psychologically, they like you. So when you give somebody something, you also want them to reciprocate. It's interesting, it's the law of karma. By giving, you receive, the bond is made. Right? So with this, going back and forth creates commitment. They feel like, oh, you helped me and I benefited and I want to help you too. From there, this is my buddy, this is my friend. There's a commitment. 6-ray quality. All right? 6-ray management is people management. Through the proper management of people, it is possible to create deep commitment to work to the company. So what he's saying is, same thing. 6-ray is essentially people management. How do you make all these people that work with you feel devoted and focused and loyal to making the company becoming successful? So let's translate it into spiritual groups. How do we get all these people who are coming to the meditation night, to the healing nights, to be committed that when we have a new project, feed the hungry people, or we're starting a new healing group for people with arthritis, with asthma, whatever. How do I get these people to be committed enough to be there with me as I move forward spiritually? You do it through incentives. There's another one. You know what it is? People love to share. There's a saying that the most interesting person to anyone is themselves. So in addition to giving them something, if you let them share the benefits they have received from whatever you gave them, or the organization, the spiritual group, the company, you know what happens to them? They feel like, oh, I'm being heard. I like this company. It's psychological. But at the same time, it creates a commitment and a bond. Okay? That's why you notice sometimes you talk to people. After you're done, the person says, oh, you're great. I love talking to you. You go back and go, I said 2 sentences. He talked the whole time. But you see, in their minds, you were kind enough to listen. And they share, they let go, boom, the bond is made. Interesting, huh? Commitment. All right, next. A lot of people, instead of managing by reward and punishment, they just manage by punishment. Okay. Some people, they go like this. Okay, when you do good, when you didn't do so good, okay, you're not gonna get that benefit. Instead, if you keep repeating again, okay, I'm giving you a warning. You repeat it again, certain benefits will be removed from your life. Not your life, but your in your employment, right? Let's say they get. I just make something up. So let's say every time you create this many sales, you will get a free trip to Hawaii. But if you don't meet the deadline, not only would you not get the Hawaii trip, next time you have to add more sales to be able to get there to make up for that deficiency last month. And if you do that on a regular basis, I'll give you a warning. By the third month that we come up and tabulate all the results, and you really fall behind by 3 months, yeah. Not only that, your monthly allowance of gummy bears will now be reduced. Whatever. You get the idea? So by reward and punishment, you are able to make a person more committed. Unfortunately, some people, they just go like this. They just see the bad side. Okay, this is what you're supposed to produce. You produce better, they don't say anything. If you mess up, they put a needle in your face and say, you messed up. That's basically management by punishment. You're going to get people to get things, but it's going to be done out of fear, and there will be no commitment. Okay? There has to be both ways. Reward and punishment. Okay, next one. Business coaches in the past overemphasized task management. A good plan is useless if it's not implemented or is not properly implemented. To have a plan implemented requires good people management. All right. Essentially, what he's saying is something like this. See, task management is Ray 3. This is our objective. These are the different tasks we need to do to get there. It's just like, okay, we'll make it very, very simple. Let's say you want to have a party, party for your child. I don't know, 10-year-old child. So the task would be, okay, get a place to have the party, entertainment, and food. Let's just make it simple. So a third grade would say, okay, this is the objective. These are the things we need to do. Make sure we got these three. And then from there, the fifth grade goes in, okay, for the venue, we need to have, nice balloon, things that kids can run around. Food, it has to be something they can eat. Entertainment, people like clowns and video games. All right. You see what happened? If you stop there, you did good with defining the task, and you even broke it down. But if you don't have anyone who's committed to go to the venue, find your place, go find the food, or bring the food back, and get somebody get entertainment, it doesn't work. You need people committed to execute all these tasks. That's 6-ray. People committed to be there to get it done. Not one of those, oh yeah, I'll go find your place when I have time. Oh, I work. Look, people who are serious about anything, they make time. You heard that before, right? Because the people say, oh, when I have time. There's always not enough time when you're not interested. You notice that? When you're not interested in something, you could be sitting there watching TV and you doing something useless, but you don't have time for something you don't like. Let me put it another way. You don't have time for things you're not committed to. But man, if you're committed to something, do you notice what you do? You make the time. You push everything aside. You could be the busiest person. It's okay. I have 2 minutes. Let me think. Do this, do that, do this. Right? That's 6-ray. You have to be careful when you communicate with people, because some of them will keep saying yes even though they do not understand the task. You must have a feedback mechanism to make sure what they do, whether they understand or not. Okay. Essentially what he's saying is something like this. Some people just say yes to you because they're being nice. They don't know what the heck you said, but they say yes because they want to make you happy. So they're committed to you in the sense that they don't want you to be upset with them, but they don't think. So you see, each of the rays are interconnected with the other rays. You want people who are committed, but you also want people to understand the plan and also how to execute the plan in details. You were saying. You don't want somebody, yes. What did you get done? I don't know what you said. You get the idea? So there has to be balance. You want intelligent people executing your ideas and plans. In other words, you want committed, intelligent people. Six-ray management requires proper nurturing, training, and guidance of the workers. This is where you get the feedback mechanism. You tell them do this, then at a certain point you have to have a test, right? Or you have to have some form of mechanism. Let's say you have a company, a lot of them do it these days, right? You have customer service, you have salespeople, and guess what they have? After you make your sales call, you answer the phones for customers, there's a feedback mechanism where they fill up a survey, right? A survey from the customers. Oh yeah, this person was rude, or this person did a great job. Check, check, check. And what do? You give them a reward. Hey, all the people you talk to, they give you good feedback. Okay, you're now good for a raise. One of the person I know works for one of the big department stores here in the United States called Target. Okay, and it's interesting. You see those little boxes when you enter the store, suggestion boxes. A lot of times we just pass by them, right? Guess what I found out? They take those things seriously. So if a customer says, when I was there, this person named whatever was so nice to me, took the time to understand me, so on and so on. Hey, those things are gold. Because from there, they decide, this person went the extra mile to help people. They're up for promotion. The opposite is also true. Yeah, I talked to this employee. She was so rude, or he was so rude, and didn't give me a time of day, blah, 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 so on, so on, so on. They take those seriously. If there's anything up, let's say up for promotion, they say, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Feedback mechanism, extremely important. That's part of people management. Okay? It requires proper recognition, just talking about, and appreciation of positive contribution of the workers. People management requires patience, flexibility, and consistency, constancy in dealing with people. So essentially, with Six-Ray, when it comes to the company, it's people management. How to deal with people, how to bring the good out of them so that they can be very successful. All right? Now, as we did the other rays, we also talk about, on a personal level, what are the strengths and weaknesses of a Six-Ray soul, or when the Six-Ray energy is very strong within us. Okay, Six-Ray people, one of the strengths they have is they're going to be very loyal to you. As in, even when everything falls apart, they still believe in you, they believe in the cause. That's Six-Ray. What else? They're very, very one-pointed. They don't get easily distracted. Whatever's happening in their family, in their house, at work, when they're committed to a cause, they keep charging forward. One-pointed. They can't get distracted, or not easily distracted. What else? Sacrificial love. The Lord Jesus, the Lord Christ, is oftentimes the embodiment of sacrificial love. When a person is very, very devoted, what happens? They're so devoted to a particular cause, they will sacrifice their own needs and wants for the benefit of the rest. For the benefit of others. Not just love, but sacrificial love. You see, love is, I love everyone. Sacrificial love means I love people, the cause, the concept, whatever, and I'll set aside my own opinions on other areas or my time so that this can be fulfilled. Sacrificial love. Okay? What else? Six-Ray souls have a lot of enthusiasm. When you have somebody who is very devoted to a particular religion, a particular concept, they can't stop talking. They're so enthusiastic. It's so infectious. Speaking of which, one thing about Master Choa, this is personal. When I watch him in class, he teaches, but every time he talks about his teacher, you can feel the devotion he has to his teacher. You watch him talk, but you could feel that reverberation of his heart just hit you. And that's when I realized a Six-Ray soul, or at that time when he was showing the Six-Ray quality, it also triggers and awakens the devotional nature in others. So a person who is very Six-Ray is very inspirational. They're so devoted to a particular cause, saving humanity, helping people, healing people, that radiates so much out of their energy field. When it hits you, your heart just goes boom, like that. And you become so devoted because it awakens the devotion within you. Amazing, isn't it? Okay, just to clarify, I didn't say Master Cho is a six-ray soul. I'm just saying that when that six-ray quality is so strong, that's what happens. The nice thing about these teachings is something like this. Every soul belongs to a particular ray, right? That's your strong ray. But I was talking to him about it, but every soul is like a diamond or a gemstone where you have to polish all the facets. In other words, even though you're first ray, you have to learn to be more loving. You have to learn to be more intelligent. So let's say you're very third ray. Think. You also have to be loving. And not only do you think, you have to be able to have the will to charge forward, and so on and so on. Okay? Now let's talk about the weaknesses, because remember, there's always strengths and weaknesses. A person who's very sixth ray, one of the weaknesses is fanaticism. Sometimes they're so committed and devoted to something, they don't think. Even though they see problems going on, they push it aside because I'm committed. That's not good either. You know, a lot of the problems you see in different parts of the world, having terrorism and so on and so on, a lot of times is what? They're so devoted, they're so emotionally committed to it. Sometimes things that they're doing doesn't make sense anymore, and people are getting hurt. They don't care. Focus like that. You see what I'm saying? So both the strengths and weaknesses. What else? A person who has a strong sixth ray might not be tolerant to other people's beliefs. It's like, this is what I believe in, you don't believe it, you'll burn in hell. Or, I believe in this, I'm right, you're wrong. There's no middle ground. That's the problem with sixth ray sometimes. You're so focused like this, you're not willing to listen to anyone's opinions. You're only right. It's my way or highway. Right? You heard that saying? My way or go on the highway, get out of here? All right. What else? Sometimes, so that, what I call fanaticism is what you call blind devotion. Okay? Another thing, when a person is very strong sixth ray quality, sometimes they cannot contain their emotion, so the emotions overcome their mind. In other words, instead of thinking, this goes back to what we said earlier, when a person is very fanatical, there's so much emotional commitment, they don't think, oh, this is not sensible anymore. You see what I'm saying? So every ray has strengths and weaknesses. By understanding what the strengths and weaknesses are, you can watch the negative qualities or the weaknesses showing up, learn how to correct it, and at the same time focus on the strengths of that ray quality. Okay? Now I hope you learned something. That's this sixth ray is quite interesting. By looking at certain people, you notice sometimes they're very third ray. They think. Sometimes people are very emotional, very committed to something. They're very sixth ray. And sometimes they say, I don't care about anything. They just charge forward, ice cold, first ray, and so on and so on. Don't you find that amazing? I mean, if you study the seventh rays very, very thoroughly, you can look at people and go, today he's very second ray. Okay, I'll be very loving because that's what the language he responds to. Or today, this guy's very third ray and fifth ray. Okay, let's talk numbers. You see what I'm saying? This person's very first ray today. Okay, let's charge forward. Let's demolish the competition. Well, don't do that. Be nice. You get the idea? By understanding what ray quality is being exhibited or what type of soul quality they have, you know which way to approach them. Amazing, huh? At least I think so. All right. Anyway, so that's sixth ray. And time to sign off. We go to the seventh ray on this next one. Let's give thanks. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, we thank you for your immense blessings. To my beloved and respected teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, Mahaguruji Mailing, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, we thank you all for your great blessings. We thank you in full faith. So be it. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Please leave your comments. And thank you again for your donations and your contributions to help this ministry spread further and wider. And we want to keep it free. You know, the most powerful word in every language, free. Because as people feel like they don't have to, shell out any money or whatever, at least they're willing to learn. And hopefully that'll get them committed to the spiritual path, which, as you all know, I owe everything to my teacher, and that's one of my devotions, if you will. Focus on taking his teachings and spread it to as many people as possible. Because he has changed my life, I want them to change yours. So, Atma, Namaste, you take care, bye.